Today is the first day of school. Welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Mariely Sanchez and I'm a 4th grade teacher in South Florida. And right now I'm gonna go downstairs to pick up my students and get our day started. Here is a look at our classroom, ready to go and ready to receive our students. I'm very excited to get the year started, so let me go ahead and get them and I'll let you know how everything goes towards the end of the day. It's the end of the day. Actually, the students have left since 1:50 and right now it's 4:07 and I should be getting out because I am super tired. I feel like there's no tired than first week of school, teacher tired. I'm sure that when I get home, I'm going to take a nap, but I'm gonna make sure I get something to eat because I'm kind of hungry because our lunch is so early in the morning. It's at 10:35. So I kind of ate around 11, close to 11, because then I actually ended up eating my lunch super fast because I had to pick up the kids at 11:05. So it's been 4 hours since then, or 5 hours, I should say, since then. So I'm very, very hungry. So I'm gonna pick up something to eat and then head home and rest for the rest of the day. But before I do that, I wanted to give you a recap. It was a great day meeting my 2 groups. My homeroom class was 100% present on the first day of school. Every single kid on my roster was here. My afternoon class, there are still 2 students that I have yet to meet. So when they get to school, I look forward to getting to know them. But amazing group of kids, both classes. And literally, I only had enough time to do a few things this morning. And it's okay. I always like to kind of overplan it and we'll see how it goes. The day definitely felt really rushed. It's I know it's early release, but now that I'm back to being departmentalized, I forget how quickly the time goes. And before I knew it, it was time to take the kids to lunch. And then I got my afternoon group. So it was a really great day. It was just very rushed and dismissal, as you can imagine. We're at K-8 Center. So everyone from 1st through 8, because our kindergartners are in a separate building that is not on the main campus, everyone from grades 1 through 8 were dismissed all at the same time. Usually on regular days, 1st graders get dismissed first, and then it's 2nd through 8th grade that are dismissed at 3:05. But yeah, it was a hectic dismissal. I definitely got my steps in, but I'm very, very happy with the first day. I came into my classroom because outside is very hot. I turned on my little fan that I have by my desk and put on some Calm. I put on a playlist that had some really nice music and I just kind of got into a Zen moment. So I ended on a very Zen feel, so I'm very happy. Anyway, I wanted to quickly run by our agenda. So definitely for a smart start this morning, we got through all of that. My homeroom still needs to finish their personality quiz, so they'll do it tomorrow. In reading, we did the back to school PowerPoint, but we didn't get to introduce Wonders Unit 1, but that's okay. I kind of figured that was going to happen. And in writing, I did get to read the book to both classes, but we didn't get to the parts of a friendly letter, and the students didn't get to write their letter. But I do have the colored line paper here ready to go. This is just a writing paper template that I have, and I have different color papers, so I make sure that I make copies of it on the different colored paper. I know some teachers like to buy the Astro Brights notebook paper, but it's free for me to use the paper I already have and the ink that is supplied to me by the school, so that's what I do. And in the afternoon, I kind of did my desk setup a little different. While I finished my lunch, I put the papers out for them. So in the morning, you saw that I had left the little treats for them, the forest trivia, a word search, a personality quiz, along with a bookmark, a clip, and a pencil that both classes got. So since both classes got those little treats in the morning, my afternoon class, it was a little different because they got those treats with their homeroom teacher. So in the afternoon, when I got my co-teachers group, they just had the word search puzzle with their names on it and the personality quiz, which I used to sort my students into our classroom houses. So I'll make sure that my homeroom finishes their personality quiz tomorrow or by Friday, And then over the weekend or Friday afternoon after school, I work on sorting the kids. So on Monday, I have our sorting ceremony and the kids will know what house they are in. And next week, we'll start doing the house points by the end of the week. My co-teacher and I will decide on how many points the different houses get. So that's very exciting. So very good first day. I went over a lot of different things with the kids, including our reward wheel, which is currently missing a couple of prizes because I want to get the students' input and also add some new ones, especially some that are very little cost or free, most of them free, because I really want to limit on my expenses. And I also show them our reward stickers and how they can earn them. And this year, since we're not doing Class Dojo, I did make sure I introduced my students to our punch cards, which is how I'm going to motivate them to follow the rules and follow procedures and things like that. So these are the punch cards, and I got them from Amazon, and I also got my special hole punchers from Amazon as well. So this is the punch card right here. When they get to 10, they get a reward sticker, and when they fill up their punch card with 20, they will get to spin the wheel. And these are the different hole punchers. One is a heart and the other one is a star. So that, my friends, is the rundown for our day today. Tomorrow is another day, so I'll see you then. Good morning. It is now Thursday, August 18th, and it's bright and early in the morning. I'm gonna go downstairs, pick up the kids, and get our day started. Second day of school is complete. I got through more things in our agenda than I did yesterday, but I still didn't get through everything that I wanted to accomplish. So let me give you a glimpse of our agenda and let you know what we ended up completing today. So I started the day with the Smart Start activity, which is our daily writing jumpstart, which is our writing warm-up. And while doing that, I had students set up their writing notebooks. Now, after doing that, even though I have it down here, I did do patterns of power with both groups. With my morning group, it took me a little bit longer to explain it to them because, of course, I have my ELL level 1 students in there who are just learning English. So I wanted to make sure that they understood the strategy and what we were doing. So they were able to come up with different things that they noticed about our mentor sentences, which I'll show you in a moment. And then this is what my afternoon group came up with, what they noticed from the mentor sentences. So here is the list that the afternoon group came up with. And we make sure to make notes in our writing notebooks. And we went over the focus phrase, I can link adjectives with the verbs of being, which of course I did need to explain to the students what are the verbs of being. And tomorrow they're going to compare and contrast the mentor sentence with another sentence so that they can see how they are alike and how they are different. I really enjoyed the writing warm-up this morning. The students had 3 options to write about, and I gave them 5 minutes to write without stopping. I told them, even if all you write is, I don't know what I'm going to write, you're going to be writing until the 5 minutes are up. I did put the time on the board because I have the magnetic timer from Lakeshore on my board. And I also wrote while they wrote. And afterwards, I had them share with the person next to them. And then I had a few students share with the entire class. My highlight of the morning or of the day is that one of my students said, oh, I'm really going to love writing this year. And that just really touched my heart. And I want my students to get excited about writing and not see it as something that is a chore to do. So my goal this year, from what we learned in the Writing Institute vlogs, and you can catch those in my playlist, is to make sure I lead with positive reinforcement and celebrate my students' successes, because we learn by being pointed out to what we are doing well, not what we are doing wrong. All right, so let me give you a look at my 2 writing notebooks, because now I have 2, one for my morning group and one for my afternoon, and how I set it up. So here's my block 1 notebook, and we made dedications. I pretty much have the same dedication in both notebooks, but I had the students do their own. And then I had them label 3 pages of tables of contents. And then the next page was labeled as page 1. And we do our writing on the right side, except for when we are doing patterns of power. When we're also doing our writing warm-up, they can just do it on the left side. So this is the same list that I just showed you on the board that my block 1 group came up with. And this is my writing during those 5 minutes. Then here is my block 2 notebook. And again, it's pretty similar dedication. And this one I did remember to make sure that I labeled it. So I have to let my block 1 students know tomorrow to label their writing warm-up. So again, 3 pages, and I gotta put table of contents here. 3 pages for table of contents. And here is my writing warm-up from my block 2 and what they noticed during that Patterns of Power invitation to notice. So these are my 2 writing notebooks. Then it was time for reading, so I introduced Wonders Units 1 and 2, or Unit 1, Weeks 1 and 2. We didn't get to read Avalanche or World of Change or Introduce Centers. I had also put in my daily slides, which you're gonna see, that I wanted to also set up the reading notebook, but that was unrealistic because setting up 2 notebooks in one day when you're departmentalized, it's not gonna work out. I should, for future reference, remember to work on setting up 1 notebook at a time so that I don't overload myself. And we ran out of time for the parts of a friendly letter and the letter to the teacher, which I'm making sure I do tomorrow so that I have those and the students can share information with me. So let me show you my daily slides for today. I am using a new style in my daily slides. I created this background and each day of the week does have a different color. So today's is a blue. And this was our agenda for today. As you can see, pretty ambitious. I have to remember that I am now departmentalized, so I don't have all the time in the world. Even though last year I didn't feel like I had all the time in the world, but I'm just saying. And again, this is the setting up of the writing notebook and completing the writing warm-up, which is right here. So this is a picture that I found in either Pixabay or on Splash. And then I wrote the little prompt to go along with the picture. So the students had a choice to write to the picture of the day, or to write whatever was on their mind, or a topic of their choice. And that was the writing warm-up that we did today. Then we did Patterns of Power, and this is our mentor sentence for the week. Shadows, he thought, are like ink. They are shady and shifty and mysterious. And this is from Brianne Farley from Ike's Incredible Ink. And the focused phrase is, I can link adjectives with the verbs of being. Now, to introduce the Unit 1, Weeks 1 and 2, we went over the essential question. And then we wanted to work on making sure we did the video and the study blast, which these 2 we got through today, but we didn't get to the read aloud. And for my ELL class, my ESOL Level 1 students, and I have a couple of other ESOL levels in there, I wanted to make sure that I built their background knowledge. So we used this word bank to complete the sentences over here on how people prepare or respond to natural disasters and the supplies that are needed in affected areas, so they needed to connect the picture with the word. Then we watched the weekly video, which is from Wonders, and we talked about how it addresses first responders and how they need to be trained to help people in need during natural disasters. And then we read our study blast, which talked about earthquakes and how people can prepare for some natural disasters, even though we can't predict them. What we didn't get to was going over the different landforms with my ESOL students, my ELL students. So these are the different landforms that I wanted to go, and there's a word wall activity, and of course our read aloud, and going over natural disasters and having students watch. So each of these pictures has a National Geographic short video that students can see in order to help build their background knowledge on these different natural disasters. And then of course, I needed to get a hurricane picture here, which I need to replace this now because I did find one, so that the students can connect the picture to the word. Again, trying to build the vocabulary and background knowledge for my ELL learners. And then eventually we'll get to read, we didn't get to today, but we'll get to read the shared read and introduce my small group centers. And this year I'm going to use a digital rotation card or slide so that the students know which center they will be going to on any given day. So this is just to introduce them to the center rotation and the slide. So I have embedded different videos to help me with this. This one has a 10-minute embedded video so that when I go to play this slideshow live, I can just click over here and it will start the timer. And that way, once the timer is up, the students will know, okay, now I got to go to my second station or my second group or rotation. So this is something that I'm really looking forward to. And I also have another one in case I only have time for 2 rotations, where each rotation is 15 minutes because I want to spend a little bit more time on 2 groups instead of shortening it to 3 groups. So for this one, there's 15 minutes, and I have a day 1 and a day 2, so that students will visit all of the centers within 2 days. And that is something that I am setting up just in case. But again, I want to make sure that the students understand how the centers will be done this year. So again, for this one, I have a day 1 and a day 2. And that is how I have structured it. And of course, in writing, I wanted to go over the parts of a friendly letter, which I have set up on this slide here. And then going over the homework assignment for this particular week, which then will bring us to Friday, but that is another day, which happens to be tomorrow. But right now I'm very tired and I'm gonna go home, enjoy some downtime, and go to sleep early because I gotta wake up really early in the morning to avoid the high school traffic that's near my house. And also the high school traffic that's near our school is just, first weeks of school, there's a lot of parents dropping off their kids while they get their buses sorted out. And also parents like to do that on the first week anyway because it's a nice experience to build upon memories on. So anyway, that is my little rundown of my second day of school. I will see you tomorrow, Friday. Hello everyone, it is now Friday. I just finished taking the students to lunch. It's more like a brunch because it's 10:35 our lunch, but I just finished with my block 1, which is my homeroom. And we got through almost everything on the agenda except for the friendly letter. And I know it's probably because we spent some time setting up our reading notebook. So hopefully by next week, we'll get the times down a little better so that I get through my entire block time. But I wanted to show you the double bubble that we created when we did Patterns of Power today. Today we did Invitation to Compare and Contrast, and this is what my Block 1 class came together with me. So here's our double bubble, which is a thinking map, and we have our mentor sentence on one side and the new sentence. So all of these bubbles in the middle is how the sentences were similar, and the bubbles on the side were how they were different. So they had a lot of similarities. And I also went over some compare and contrast keywords that I have on the board, which also go with our current reading skill. Now, as far as my block 1, we got through the read aloud of Avalanche, but we didn't get to a world of change or the vocabulary, but I did introduce centers and how we will be using them. So next week, I'm going to start teaching one center at a time. And then hopefully by the next unit, we will have center rotation down just right, or as right as we can get it, so that students get used to the flow of how the lesson and instruction will be. Whew, I kind of am out of breath because I just came from dropping them off, but right now I'm probably gonna eat a snack because I had breakfast. Because lunch is so early, I'm usually not hungry. So just having a little snack, and then by the time we have our specials in the afternoon, I'll probably eat my lunch then. But good day so far. Now I'll just have my afternoon class after lunch, go through the same thing and see how it goes. So I'll catch up with you at the end of the day. It's the end of the day and I'm a very tired teacher again. But I wanted to show you the double bubble that my afternoon class came up with when we did our Patterns of Power invitation to compare and contrast. And we also added it to our notebooks, and we also set up our reading notebooks. We didn't complete one thing from my reading notebook from my first group, but that's okay. Let me show you the double bubble right now. So here is the double bubble that my afternoon class came up with as far as the similarities between both sentences and the differences. So very, very great job. So they also were able to listen to the read aloud, and we talked about avalanches. And then we went to art in the afternoon, and when I brought them back, we had some snack time. And then after snack time, I had them review how small group centers will work. And then we did a little bit of practice for building background, looking at different landforms. And again, that helps my ELL students. We looked at pictures, which I have on my PowerPoint. I think I'll show you some of those slides in a moment. And then we did a word wall activity that is provided by the district. So I didn't show you in the morning what my reading notebook setup looked like with my first class. So here's my dedication page, similar to the writing notebook. Table of contents, and then we wrote our essential question And after watching the video, we reviewed how we can answer the essential question with the information that the video gave us, the study blast gave us, and the read aloud gave us. So that's what our morning group did. And my afternoon got to the video and the study blast, but not the read aloud. So we'll just do that next week. I also ran out of time again for my friendly letter. So it's just happened. So I did make sure that I edited my lesson plans for next week so that I can include that, so that the students work on that letter next week. So I just printed them. I'm gonna leave them on my desk, gather my things, and go home. It's the weekend, so I get to rest and relax, and Monday we will start our first full week of school, 5 school days. All right, so I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on my first week of school, my first 3 days. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and let me know what you thought or any questions you may have. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I hope you have a beautiful, magical day, and don't forget to smile. Hello, dreamers, wishers, and magical thinkers. Thank you so much for making it to the very end of this video and for showing your support. If you'd like to subscribe, you can do so by clicking on my picture down here. You can also check out my latest videos here and here. Don't forget to believe in the magic that's inside you, because you are capable of great things. See you next time.